Hey y'all, welcome to Imperial album reviews with a thorough review of the new Judas Priest album Invincible Shield, released on March 8th of this year. I impatiently waited 6 extra days to be able to digest this because I ordered it from the Judas Priest web store 3 weeks before album release date, and it still took 6 days past the release date to get to me. I was not a happy camper, but it was well worth the wait. I saw, of course, everybody and their brothers doing a review of this album, and first time I've done an album review actually, but I was thinking, because I'm not one to jump on the bandwagon of whatever's popular. I've never been that guy. But this band and this album, Painkiller, greatest metal album of all time, if you ask me. I think this is the best thing they put out since Painkiller. And this band and the Painkiller album is what turned me into a lifelong devotee of metal and completely made me fall in love with the guitar. Thank you, Jeff Cutler, who recommended myself at the age of 16 to drive to the record store and get a copy of Painkiller, which I still have. We'll be doing an in-depth review on every Judas Priest album. I'm just going to do that with all my favorite bands. It take a long time, but that's cool because it's a labor of love. And this is the heavy metal band. People talk like people will say shit like Judas Priest is one of the most legendary heavy metal bands in existence over the history of the genre. Well, yeah, they are, but that's false. It's not one. They're not one of. They are the heavy metal band. Nobody else compares. I don't give a rat's ass what you think. You're wrong. Black Sabbath and Judas Priest are why we have heavy metal. Metal, period. But especially heavy metal. So let's get into it. First of all, the first thing I have to say is as old as Rob Halford and Ian Hill are, and Scott Travis got to be, I haven't looked up their ages. I know Rob's in his 70s and Ian's got to be in that neighborhood too. Travis has got to be, I guess, 60-something. Those dudes are old. But man, they sound like a bunch of pissed off 20-somethings. So what's your excuse? What's anybody's excuse if they're performing at this level, at this stage in the game? This is their 19th album. Rock and Roll came out 50 years ago in September. I just listened to it yesterday on vinyl. But they are absolutely killing it. I figured I would like this album, but I absolutely love it. I've barely stopped listening to it since I got it. And because I don't listen to anything before I actually get the album with one of my favorite groups. I skip, hit watch later on YouTube. I watched all the videos about a week after I got the record, but it is phenomenal. To me, it's like Painkiller Volume 2. This is the most thorough, most intense record they have put out since Painkiller. That's a huge thing coming from me. Anybody who knows me, they're like, whoa, it's that good. And I'm like, yeah, it is that good. So we've got, the deluxe version here. Wasn't about to get the regular version. The deluxe version comes with 3 bonus tracks. And of course you've got all of the artwork and the lyrics on the inside. And everything is just a great, great package. So first song, Panic Attack. Awesome intro. Great. Just like a 80s type keyboardish guitar synth kind of thing, and then it just kicks right in. Super great way to start a metal album. Builds up nicely, just kicks you right in the teeth to begin with. And to me, that's how you start a metal album. Then we have The Serpent and the King, which is just ups the ante even more. There's a lot of great trade-offs. You can tell that Richie is playing all of the leads, or at least the majority of them. You can tell that Glenn is on there, and he is involved as much as he's able to be, from everything that I've read and seen online. You can tell that Glenn is playing certain things on there. It's just nowhere near as prominent. But it's the classic back and forth dual lead thing that Richie's doing. But he's emulating Glenn's style really well. Of course, he's been playing Glenn's parts live for quite a while now. Then you have the title track, Invincible Shield, that's my anthem for this year. It's just like, it's a song about, not being, limited by anything. We're going to raise our invincible shield and we're going to take on the world and squeeze it by the balls and say, "Who's the bitch now?" I love that. Then we have Devil in Disguise, just a kind of a mid-tempo, more plodding kind of a riff. And there is Crown of Horns. That is the closest thing to a ballad on this record that there is. Very melodic and very well done. I love every song on this record. Has an interesting like solo thing that starts this track off. And you have As God Is My Witness. This is my favorite song on this album. The chorus, as God is my witness, I swear there'll be hell to pay. As God is my witness, I will prevail until the end of days. That is so badass. It's like Leather Rebel off of Painkiller. It gives me that vibe. That's I can't get enough of that song. Then you have Trial by Fire, another more of a mid-tempo but really hard driving song. And then you have Escape from Reality, got a bit of a darker feel, somewhat Sabbathy. Very kind of plodding, but perfect. And then you have Sons of Thunder, which is a total like sing-along, just like kind of like a biker anthem. I could see this being if Sons of Anarchy on TV was still on TV, or they did any. I know they did an offshoot of that show. I watched it several times. But that'd be if this album came out when the show was still on, I'm sure they would be trying to use it for the show. It's that perfect for that kind of thing. And then you have Giants in the Sky, which is a tribute to all of the fallen heroes that like Lemmy and Ronnie James Dio. I haven't watched any interviews with Rob Halford yet, but that's the premise of that one. Just talking about all their fallen heroes, people who they miss and that aren't with us anymore. Then you have the bonus tracks. You have Fight of Your Life. It starts out kind of just plain rock and roll. It gets a little heavier as it goes. Really great. Then you have Vicious Circle. And that is it sounds like Primal Fear to me. Primal Fear is a band that is from Germany. Actually, the first band I saw live in LA was those guys at the Key Club on the Sunset Strip. Unfortunately, not there anymore. And Ralph Sheepers, the lead singer, actually was one of the last few guys who was in the running to potentially replace Rob Halford before they went with Tim Ripper Owens, who did Jugulator and Demolition. Great band. I haven't been into them for a while, but they do have a lot of good albums. Just super straightforward, you know what you're getting, but definitely more modern edged with that song. And then you have The Lodger, which is... it's kind of proggy. It's a mid-tempo thing. It's about a guy who's like a stalker, and pretty damn cool. Interesting way to end an album. So you've got 14 tracks, and you have a great deluxe packaging. The artwork is badass. Same guy did the artwork. I couldn't tell you who that was. I was on Firepower, the previous album, and Firepower I loved because I was not a fan of Redeemer of Souls. I'm still not. I've tried to get into that album. Ugh. It's 75% of it is just not great. The production, etc. I'll do that'll be one of my next couple reviews. But this is better than Firepower, if you ask me. And I have nothing against Firepower. I love that record. I've listened to it a lot. Listened to it again the other day. There's nothing bad on it, but this is just holy shit. I am as happy of a fan as I've been in a very long time. I absolutely love this band. And I am so thrilled that at this stage in the game they're putting out material that is this quality, this intense, and as a guitarist and professional musician, all I want to do is play riffs and just allow it to inspire me. The 16-year-old in me is still alive and well. So I hope you've enjoyed this first of my first ever album review. I wanted to do it on a record that was something inspiring to me and that I feel like any self-respecting metalhead, especially a fan of this band, should be listening to. The only disappointment I have with it is that it's been my complaint, I guess you can call it, for years, is that Glenn Tipton is not as involved as he used to be just because of his Parkinson's. Fuck that disease. But it is what it is, and he is as involved as he is able to be. He was always and still is the first person in the writing credits, and he's in the videos, and I know he is on the album. You can hear him playing on certain things. It's just not as prominent, it's not as intense as Richie. Firepower was largely the same, but I am so glad to know that he is still as involved as much as he's able to be, because Glenn Tipton is Judas Priest. I don't care what anybody else says. It is not Judas Priest without Glenn Tipton. And that is just fact. So, anyway, that is Invincible Shield. Get yourself a copy. I am not a fan of streaming. I mean, I'll use it when I need to, but of course I am an album guy. And just support your musicians and actually buy their music. That is the best way to support them. Not sharing, not sending links, physically, or buy it, downloads, however you have to pay for it. Help them out. Even a legendary band like this, they have expenses as well. So that is Invincible Shield. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you like what you see and hear, please hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more. We'll have some more content coming up for you real soon. Peace out. Crank this album. You will not be disappointed. See you next time.